Hey, welcome back. This is EC's EDC, and today we're taking a look at the Alpaka Metro Backpack Pro 24 liter. This is my first backpack from Alpaka, and I've had a bunch of their slings, their pouches over the course of the years, but this is my first go with one of their bags. And up front, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I'm not really sure how I feel. I've only had it for about a month or so, and I've actually found that, while I've owned it, I kind of go back to other bags that I've had in my rotation prior to this. So we'll see if it leaves a longer lasting impression, but as of now, I think I'm still on the fence. So again, 24 liters. They've got a pretty cool, sleek, techie aesthetic going on. Reminds me of a certain bag a lot. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but overall, pretty cool bag, and I do think that they did a nice job building this. Materials feel really great. So this is a 24 liter backpack. The materials Alpaka uses is this is the Axoflux, not X-Pack version. I've had enough X-Pack bags in the past to know, I prefer EcoPack at this point, but also I wanted to try something new. And doing a little research, this material is Alpaka's home crafted version of a recycled polyester. It's a 600D polyester that they claim to be rugged and waterproof. I haven't had it in the rain. We've had a bit of a drought here for the past few weeks, so I can't speak to its waterproof abilities, but it's pretty cool to see Alpaka call this waterproof on the website. I did have to go digging a little bit. It's not directly on the product page, but they do have an article all about the Axoflux material. So on the exterior of the bag, we do have one handle at the top. This handle is your standard seatbelt material. Feels really nice, it's very soft, but in the center there must be a small piece of foam in here. It's a little bit more dense than the two sides, and it feels nice in the hand. So solid handle. We have zipper pulls with, I'm not sure if it's Hypalon. Feels more like a plastic than a Hypalon, but they haven't been too slick. It is smoother and less grippy than a Hypalon material, but they're fine so far. And this is a YKK reverse coil zipper here. At the top of the bag, we have another zipper, which is aqua guarded YKK, and this opens up to the dedicated laptop compartment on the bag. On the front, we have one side access zippered front pocket, which shows you a horizontally designed, not really admin section, but you've got two slip pockets here and two pen slots. And inside we can see more of that Axoflux material. This is a 200D, actually I'm sorry, this is a 300D, they call it the cool gray honeycomb, but the X-Pack bags, which are both X42, the black and olive, they have a blood orange 300D. Sorry, 200D X-Pack, 300D polyester Axoflux. So pretty straightforward front pocket here. There is also a key leash, which is magnetically removable. Pretty easy to use. You just kind of pull on this and it will detach. You can slide that on your keychain and then you kind of clip it back on. I don't have my keys with me. They're hanging up downstairs, but they do typically go on this. So one thing to note, the bag does stand on its own relatively well. You can see it does lean a little bit forwards. That is because the bottom of the bag is slightly slanted, but it does a great job standing on its own. Even when empty, it stood on its own in my office, so if that's important to you, you'll definitely appreciate that factor. Before we go into the bag, I did want to show one more external feature, which is along the back panel here. We have a small hidden security pocket. I'm not going to call it quick access because I don't believe it is quick access. This would be great for your passport and only your passport. I say that because I tried putting my phone in there, taking it out of my pocket, and you can certainly feel the phone through the foam on the back panel. If you considered putting your wireless earbuds in this pocket, it's also going to bulge out pretty tremendously. So I would say maybe a notepad, your passport, and that's about it. Unless you've got a super slim phone. Mine's the iPhone 15 Pro with a very minimal case, and I could still feel it. So not sure that's going to be super useful on the day-to-day, but certainly when traveling, it's a great spot to stash maybe some cash along with your passport. So as we move into the inside of the bag, we'll look at the laptop compartment first. Hang tight, rewind. Before we go inside the bag, we got to look at the back panel. So we've got these very comfortable straps Alpaka's designed. The foam is almost gel-like. It's very soft, feels great on your shoulders. They are thin. They are thin straps. I thought they were wide enough for the weight that I've got in the bag. They felt fine, but they're very thin, and I think the foam does a good job. Really pleased with the foam they're using here. This is the same foam, I believe, that they've got on the back panel itself. More of it, for sure. There's definitely a more substantial amount underneath whatever this material is. I have no idea what this is, but it feels great. And in the sort of 50 to 70 degree weather, I wasn't sweating, and that's probably due to both not being so hot, but also a pretty substantial air channel here. There's also, as you can see, a luggage pass-through on the back panel, which is great for travel, but falls out of the way when you're wearing it on your back. Sternum strap comes with the bag. Unsure if these are Fidlock, Woojin, or Duraflex. Not branded, so just be mindful. They don't really tell you on the website either. And they connect in a very unique way. There are these little loops that they have spaced out along the strap, which you kind of just pull it off, and it clips on with this little clasp. Not once did they ever feel like they were going to come off. They're pretty secure feeling, and you've got plenty of options depending on your body size to adjust them accordingly. The straps do have two, again, it's not Hypalon, it is this plastic material where they've got their branding right here. The tri-glides down here, these are actually metal. This is what I think one of the nicer parts of the bag. It's nice to see a metal tri-glide. You know it's going to be very durable, and it's been nice and secure when adjusting the backpack. We also have some strap keepers down below. Minimize your strappiness. So, back panel, very comfortable, and breathes pretty well. All right, so let's take a look inside that laptop compartment. Inside we have a little bit of branding here from Alpaka, and then you have a fleece, but also what I think you could probably attach patches to. Feels like a loopy enough material. But you get a dedicated and suspended laptop compartment. You also get a dedicated sleeve for your tablet, which is great. Great to have both of those. I like incorporating those so they're not just hanging around the backpack. Both are suspended, so you can feel secure knowing your stuff's not going to hit the ground when you place your backpack down. This is a 16-inch MacBook Pro, and it does fit. But I will say, you can feel the corner of the machine right on the zipper line. It's probably secure and it's probably safe, and I wouldn't worry too much, but if you're really picky, if you don't want the edges of your machine being exposed to potential damage, it is a little tight of a fit. So keep that in mind, but I don't really travel with the 16-inch too often. Normally I'm going to work with the 14-inch machine. So great fit, love the suspended sleeves, love the dedicated spot for the tablet, and then I just stick a notebook right in between. Now for the main compartment, we're going to see a lot more of that white honeycomb Axoflux 200D material. And one thing to note, this is not a full clamshell bag. Somewhere around 3/4. Let's see if we can give you a good view of where that zipper track ends. So right here, that is the end of the line, and it's both a good and a bad thing. It's a good thing because the bag stays up, your stuff stays in, and it's fairly easy to work out of. It is annoying if you're used to a clamshell bag and you're trying to get into it. You do kind of have to take things out to get to them, but overall, you know, it's just different. If you are looking for something to enclose your stuff, this is going to be great. More of the half zip style backpack. But if you're looking for a clamshell, I don't think you're going to be happy with this. So inside, we've got quite a few things. We'll start here on the back panel. There is a stretchy mesh pocket, not really see-through at all, but I have 2 of the micro topo pouches stuffed in here. Great spot for, you know, maybe your headphones, your ear pods or AirPods, whatever you want to call them. Stuff that you don't need, but you know, maybe something not too hard to get. Below the stretch mesh pocket, you have 2 slip pockets. Now, at first I thought these were the same size when I took this out of the packaging. Later, I realized this pocket is sized for your standard full-size water bottle. And it is. I can fit all my Yetis, my Hydro Flask, my Awala, whatever bottle I have, they fit in there. This pocket over here is a little bit more on the flat side. It does fit an Evergood's half cap very well and provides a great spot for it. But when those 2 pockets have items in it, it does not open as well as you might need it to. So that is one thing helping keep this front panel structured and standing upright. Now inside the main compartment, just take out the stuff that I've been carrying. We can get a really good look at that honeycomb material, and it is a nice change of pace. I think it's a really nice looking design. I love that it's not a super bright high vis color. Well, it is high vis, but it's not one of those neon colors. So very, very accommodating and still gives you great visibility at the bottom of your bag. You've got a series of nylon webbing up here, which you can use for Alpaka's modular system for your keys, smaller pouches. It's a whole ecosystem. And if you're into that, you're gonna really like this. I didn't get a chance to interact with it too much, but it is here if that's your jam. So that's the inside of the backpack. It is rated at 24 liters. I would say this backpack reminds me a lot of the Evergoods CPL24. And I would say that's for a few reasons. We've got a dedicated laptop compartment. You've got the vertical front zipper for that front pocket. You've got the webbing on the inside, both very comfortable bags. And just in general, that 24-liter design, they have similarities. They're not the same, they're not at all copies of each other, but I do find that they are very similar. And if you're familiar with the CPL24, I would say that it feels larger than this 24-liter bag. With my stuff in here, it felt very full and kind of maxed out. It actually felt on my back a little boxy and bloated. But when I moved all of these same contents into this bag, there was about at least a third, maybe a quarter of the space on top of the bag, the internal volume of that main compartment, open and available. That might be due to, you know, these pockets that I'm choosing to use with the water bottle and the Evergoods half cap. But to me, it felt a little smaller than other 24-liter bags that I've used in the past. So Alpaka did a nice job with this bag. This Axoflux material is very robust. I had to look it up because I didn't know what I was holding, and after learning that it's a recycled polyester, the feeling makes more sense. It reminds me more of a, it's not quite a 1000D backpack, but it's got that sort of burly feeling. And I assume that the more I use it, the more it's going to break in and become a little softer to touch. So pros, things I like about this bag. Comfort, I think, is great. Very comfortable backpack. The foam they're using in the straps and the back panel feels fantastic. I like the layout of the front pocket. It's simple, not too much going on, perfect for throwing some things in there. And you've also got the key leash, which is not removable, by the way. Things that I didn't like. And like I said, I'm still kind of on the fence about this bag. First is this hood. I don't know if you can see, but there's this hood that covers the zipper track. And when the bag is empty or less than filled, you can kind of see how the area on this front panel falls inward. And there is this hooded appearance that the top of the bag gives. I don't love the look, but most of the time, I've got stuff in here, so that hooded appearance is minimized and the bag fills its capacity and it's expanded a little bit. I also didn't like the hood because as I was getting used to it, and I would say it's worked in a little bit more now, it would get in the way. Every time I unzipped and zipped the bag, I was catching my hand or the zipper on the hood, but it's getting much better the more I use it. The last thing that I really am not a fan of, and I do understand why they put it here, we've got a travel luggage pass-through, giving it some additional features and usability, but we've got the little security pocket. I would have preferred a top quick access pocket to this security pocket because to me this is more limited. If I can only put a passport in here, not even really my phone, without being able to feel what's on my back, I'm not going to use this very often. I would rather just have a quick access pocket somewhere else in the bag that's easy to get to, where I can put my phone, some small things from my pockets, my passport in that case. And so I feel that this pocket here on the side of the bag was a bit of a miss, in my opinion. But it's a small gripe, and I do like what they're doing, considering you do get a travel feature here with the luggage pass-through. So ultimately, it is a nice bag, and I give Alpaka kudos to creating their own recycled fabric, this Axoflux material. Seems pretty cool. We'll see how it lasts long term. Perhaps it's waterproof, perhaps it's not. But it's a nice looking bag. And it's priced pretty well. $229 for this polyester version, recycled polyester version. And I think it's a little bit more for the X-Pack versions. But hope you enjoyed the video. Hope this was informative. And if you've got questions about this compared to other bags, let me know. I am happy to answer in the comments. But thanks for tuning in. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.